Welcome to the Armani Talks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel to help you level up your communication skills, learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and digital content creation to take your message to the world. For today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a bold truth regarding one of the most important variables of public speaking: the audience. The audience. When you're a beginner public speaker, or let's just say you haven't even given your first big speech, you know what's going to happen? You're going to view the audience in a very negative light. You're going to think that they're going to boo you, they're going to heckle you, they're just going to pull out their phone midway and start texting as soon as you're presenting. And you start having all these negative situations playing out left and right, and all these negative perceptions are doing something very bad to you. It's making you overthink. And when you overthink in a very negative light, you know what happens? You carry a whole bunch of baggage with you on speech day. It's sort of like telling a little kid about the boogeyman, and every single time that little kid is about to go to sleep now, they're starting to think that there's a monster that lives under their bed or inside their closet. So their brain starts making up all these creaks, all these noises, trying to signal to them that the boogeyman is about to haunt them at any second. But I'm not going to be talking about the boogeyman today. I'm going to double down on the audience. I'm going to help you fix your perception regarding this. You see, my friend, the audience, believe it or not, is not your enemy. They are not your enemy. And this is going to be very, very hard to believe, especially considering that they seem very daunting in the beginning stages. But I want to tell you a little story. I remember this was a few years ago, and I was in college at the time. I was a freshman in college, and I remember there was this kid who had to present in our class, and he was nervous. You could tell that he was not a public speaker. You could tell that he didn't like public speaking, and you could just tell that he didn't feel too prepared. When he got on stage, he started to fidget. Even before he said a word, he was sweating. He was starting to really feel a lot of the nerves. And the audience members, we could tell that there was something wrong. We could tell that the vibes from him weren't comfortable. Let's just say that he wasn't comfortable. So as he started to begin, you could tell that his notes were prepared, but he wrote too many notes. So he started to lose track of which line he was on. And when he was losing track, you know what happened? He started to get more nervous. And this cycle just continued on and on and on. And he was just feeling more and more nervous. And the seconds slowly started to pile into minutes. And I remember in my mindset, I was just thinking, yo, I feel bad for him because personally, I'm not a good public speaker myself, and being in a position like that is not easy. I really hope he figures it out. I really hope he figures it out. And as I was sitting down, I noticed a lot of other people in the audience, a lot of my fellow classmates who normally don't pay attention, who are normally on their phones. You know how they were like at this point? They were sitting up very straight. Their eyes were squinted. And they just had this very understanding face. Like, it seemed like every single person in the audience, they were working in overtime to make this speaker feel comfortable. It seemed as though they were working overtime to let the speaker know, listen, however you do, we're going to be here, okay? We want you to succeed. And I remember that moment like it was yesterday, because that moment taught me a huge lesson regarding public speaking. The audience, and this is the secret truth, by the way, they want you to succeed. They want you to succeed. That is the biggest secret regarding public speaking that you can understand regarding the audience. Our ego, it paints the exact opposite picture. Our ego tries to get us to think, the audience doesn't want us to succeed. They want to heckle us. But that's not true. Being in Toastmasters for many years and being someone who's given a lot of speeches throughout his lifetime, I'll be honest, this whole heckling, this whole booing thing, That's something that you see glorified a lot in TV shows, and that's something that your ego glorifies a lot. But someone with skin in the game regarding public speaking, that doesn't happen that much. It really doesn't happen that much. Does it happen? Yeah, I mean, I've seen comedians get booed, I've seen politicians get booed, heckled, but believe it or not, in your public speaking career, I'm more I'm more sure that it's going to happen less than it's going to happen a lot of. I've given speeches in all types of venues, all types of venues. Heck, there was this one time my public speaking mentor made me give a speech at IHOP. And even then, even though I was giving a speech in a location I wasn't supposed to give a speech in, a lot of the people in the restaurant, they were supportive. They wanted me to do well. So that's the biggest boogeyman myth that I want to shed in this video, is that the audience wants you to succeed. The audience wants you to do well. Because think about it, human beings, we're creatures that we get bored. We don't have, a lot of humans, okay, now, I'm not necessarily saying you, but a lot of humans, they don't have the most entertaining life on a day-by-day basis. So do you think they want to sit in the audience and they want to see you completely bomb on stage and make their day worse? It just doesn't work like that. And when I say it out in words, I'm sure the whole situation seems very cartoony to you, but that's how many people think. At this point, the reason that you're thinking like this is because you don't have enough public speaking experience. You don't have enough public speaking experience. What are you going to do about that? You're going to get on stage and you're going to gather up a lot of public speaking experience, and you're going to start noticing that, these people don't mean any harm, and these people are just people. These people are just people. And I want you to understand something. In the beginning stages, what is going to happen is your mind still has this pre-existing belief that the audience is supposed to be against you. So what's going to happen is when you're giving speeches in the beginning stages, a lot of times you're going to look in the audience and you're going to feel like a lot of people are looking negative. You're going to feel like their faces are like this. I want you to understand, it is your perception. They're not angry at you. They're not being mean. In many cases, it's their natural face, where we've all heard of the term resting bitch face. A lot of people have that. Harmless. And in many situations, it's an average face, but your perception, your pre-existing negative perceptions are making it look more negative. Continue on anyways. Keep on giving presentation after presentation after presentation. And guess what's going to happen now? Your mind is going to start focusing on the positive faces. And for the faces that look negative, they're truly going to register as harmless at this point. That's the whole fun thing about public speaking. It's basically a battle of first viewing the audience as enemies to later on viewing the audience and yourself on the same page. You want to get from here to here by consistently showing up and executing. And eventually your perception is going to start rewiring. And the beauty about this is once you can conquer this sort of little perception flip regarding public speaking, the same thing is going to start happening in your social interactions. A lot of people that you view to be sour and negative, and their sour and negative faces were hindering you, and your social responses are no longer going to have that sort of effect over you. Magical, isn't it? That's the cheat code, my friends. So start public speaking and don't let these negative perceptions bug you. And just take it a level further, start analyzing your own behavior whenever you are an audience member. Really see how you're feeling. Do you want them to fail or do you want them to succeed? You and I both know the answer. It's time that your ego knows it too. If you enjoyed today's episode and you'd like to hear more about public speaking, then make sure you sign up for my free daily newsletter. In this newsletter, I drop years and years worth of Toastmaster tips regarding how you can level up your public speaking, how you can overcome speech anxiety, how you can craft the perfect speech to deliver to any kinds of audiences. Make sure you sign up. By the way, did I mention it's free? I know I did. So make sure you sign up, and I'll see you every single day at 7 p.m. With that being said, thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube episode, I'll catch you next time.